Good afternoon, my friends. This is the Grimflayer. Hope you're all doing well. We are going to continue the league that we began yesterday. Got off to a good start using our Dark Confidant Golgari build with just one change from the most recent deck tech, which involved swapping out a sideboard Spellbomb and a main deck Lily the Last Hope. Those have reverse slots, so now we have one Spellbomb main and a 1-1 split of main and side for our two Lily the Last Hopes, and this is just basically a hedge against the Faithless Looting decks that are quite prevalent in the format. Yeah, so we are heading in to match 2, and we found an opponent, so let's hope for some good fortune here and see what we can do. Well, we can't win the die roll, but we do have quite a powerful opening hand, and our opponent is mulliganing. I like it already. This is not a hand that they want to mulligan against, and they're down to 5. Alright, you know, a lot of decks that mull to 5, you know, it could be Tron or Dredge or, you know, something frightening like that, but it's also could be a Stomping Ground deck, apparently. Search for Tomorrow. Okay, this is Valakut. Not a good matchup for us, not a good matchup at all. However, they did mulligan, so I'm happy. That said, Hissing Quagmire was not a very good draw. Ooh. Yeah, we just have to take the Elder here, right? Take away the Elder and we have to go on the Liliana plan to get that Titan out of their hand. We can, of course, draw another Thoughtseize as well to get rid of that Titan. But we'll always yield to these and then F6. But yeah. Ooh, Dark Confidant. Does this... I think this changes things. I think this means we've got to play the Bob turn too. Yep. Yeah, Confidant is just too useful. He's going to be a clock. He's going to get us all kinds of good stuff. I'm actually going to shock here. We've already dipped below that threshold that you'd like to stay above, which is 18 life. So we're certainly not, even with this Brutality Drain, going to keep our heads above water in that regard with a Confidant around. Now they're just hitting land drops and hitting ramp spells, so might be a little bit punished for leaving that Titan in hand. We'll have to see. That could have been a mistake. Alright. Well, we are just drawing nothing good. Nothing good at all, and unless I've missed something, I believe they still have a Stomping Ground in hand along with that Titan. So what do we do here? Well, Lily doesn't quite accomplish it. Are we just going to, Yeah, I think we have to hang on to her. So let's play a village, attack for 2, and I don't think we're going to really do anything else. Unless we want to just drain them for 2, which is probably fine. Sure, drain you for 2. We're not probably going to find a better use case of that. And we'll pass. I'm feeling very punished right about now for my decision to leave that Titan in hand, but hey, okay. Tireless Tracker, huh? Alright, well. Did I miscalculate? Yeah, wow, I should have played the Liliana last turn. That was actually a big mistake. I don't know why I thought they were on Titan mana this turn. I just can't count, apparently. Well, that's a bit of a tilt, now isn't it? So what is the play here? So I guess it's better late than never. We're going to play the Liliana out. Man, I just missed a trick. I am sorry. I should have played the Liliana out last turn and ticked her up. I've just got to slow down while I'm recording, especially in these early turns. Just got to slow it down a bit. I think we can afford to pitch this second Quagmire. Or I'm going to pitch a second Treetop. The Quagmire could prove useful. And we'll play the Quagmire out here. Yeah, I mean, if I had just literally stopped and counted, I would have known their lands. I would have known that playing the Lily last turn was the play. So if they draw a land here, I am very punished. If not, I might be able to skate away with my misplay. They have an Explorer. Okay, that's a good one, but it is not Titan this turn. It does, however, insulate them from just losing it to the Liliana, and they're just going to scoop it up anyway. All right, I'll take it. I don't necessarily deserve that win, but this is a horrifyingly bad matchup for us, so I am not going to turn up my nose at any victory, no matter how it comes. But they did mulligan to 5, and we did, missequence a bit, but by hook or by crook, we will take a win against Valakut. So how do we want to board against Valakut? Well, Fulminator Mage for sure. I like Surgical Extraction. As I've said before, they're going to board to some degree into a value plan B. They'll have some good value green threats to cast and all that, but Extraction is still quite nice against them. Collective Brutality is good enough against their ramp spells that I think we want another copy of it. And, if we had something like Duress, that would also apply. But we've got Deathmark to bring in for their green threats. We've got Kitchen Finks as well, which is really not bad at all against, in terms of keeping our heads above water at 18 and just being a threat. It's not the most impressive card, but it's definitely worth considering. Maelstrom Pulse is also decent as well. I don't think we're interested in too much else here. And we'll take away Lily the Last Hope. Nile Spellbomb is not great either. Abrupt Decay comes out for sure. And then we're probably just going to look to cut all of our Fatal Pushes. I think you could leave in pushes over the things that I took out before them if you lacked, spots. But this looks like a pretty sweet layout to me. Kalidas is not the most exciting either, is he? But still a threat. Same with something like Scavenging Ooze. A lot of our threats just don't shine all that much here. We just kind of want to ride any of them to victory while disrupting as heavily as possible. So, sure, looks like a pretty fine setup to me. Now we got away with murder game 1. Again, they mulled to 5. I just, for some inexplicable reason, didn't play my Liliana because I thought the Titan was coming down that turn. And, we still got the win. Now, this is a tough call. We have turn 1 Inquisition, which is pretty good. Extraction is very good, potentially. Assassin's Trophy's awesome. But we only have 1 land. Tarmogoyf turn 2 is one of our best plays in this matchup, too. So this is a super high-risk hand. But I think this matchup is bad enough that we're supposed to keep riskier hands than average. And we are on the draw. So we're already very unfavored against this matchup, even more so on the draw. And the other thing about being on the draw is it gives us another chance to hit a second land by turn 2. So I'm going to keep it. It is certainly risky, but I think the upsides are potentially enough to merit a keep. Alright, Thoughtseize is a heck of a draw, but we still are looking for lands, obviously. We will lead off on Inquisition, though. See what our opponent's rolling with. They have a Tireless Tracker and a Summoner's Pact, and they have a Baloth and a Titan in hand. Okay. Well, they don't have much ramp at all. I think this game's going long enough that I have to take the Tracker. I think that's pretty clear. Summoner's Pact is, of course, a good card, but Tracker is more of an immediate concern. Now, if I can just draw a land next turn, I am so happy to go turn 2 Tarmogoyf, and might maybe, just maybe, feel like I'm going to be in an okay position here. Did they find anything to play on turn 2? They did not. And we found a land. All right. Well, better lucky than good. Better lucky than good. I don't see any reason not to F6 here, even though I do have Surgical. Oh, third land. Wow. Yep, we are doing it, folks. We're doing it. So, is there any thought here to playing out another threat instead of Thought Seizing? I actually think I might. Because then next turn I can Thought Seize and hold up Trophy. Whereas this turn, if I Thought Seize, play the Quagmire, next turn I cannot, unless I draw yet another land, have a 2-spell, hold up Trophy after playing Scooze. So I think I'm supposed to play out the Ooze here. Play him out. And we will pass. Alright, here comes perhaps a hard-casted Obstinate Baloth. Yep. Alright. That's a good one. Another Scooze is not what we want to see. Definitely not what we want to see here. Alright, certainly have to begin by Thought Seizing. Obstinate Baloth, Primeval Titan, Summoner's Pact, so they have another Baloth. Man, that's pretty rough. Yeah, it's just gotta be the Titan. So a couple options here. I can actually attack with both, and depending on how the opponent blocks. I think that's a little bit risky though. I think that's a tad risky. I think I'm just gonna attack with, because if he blocks the Tarmogoyf, then I have to Surgical the Titans, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but let me attack with my Ooze and see what happens. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna gobble up these things. Pretty happy to make this trade, because I've got another Ooze to follow up and keep grinding. It's a lot of Obstinate Baloths for us to fight through, though, that is for sure. Now, I actually totally missed my play here. I was supposed to play on their draw step and hit the Obstinate Baloths. So now I'm supposed to hit the Baloths out of their deck, because I won't have a chance to respond before they cast another one. So, yep, I completely forgot to do that. I am sorry for the misplays. It's just commentating has got me all thrown off. But yeah, let's hit these with the surgical now. Better late than never, right? We're down to 18. There's that out of their hand. They have the Titan, and they're pacting again. Let's take a look at how they sided. They have a couple relics, and anything else that's really unusual. A couple angers and a braid, and a Thrun. They've got a lot for our matchup, that is for sure. It's a little annoying how they search for an Elder. Okay, fair. It's a tad annoying how it doesn't, in this revealed items column, it does not show what you see with surgical. But hey, that is alright. We will live. We will live. So we do have an answer for that Titan that's in their hand, and they're going to have to pact next turn. So they cannot pay for the pact and cast the Titan. So we have to play the Kalitas here. Take our window to resolve our big threat. Ooh, okay, they didn't sack the Sakura Tribe Elder in response, so that's going to get us a zombie. But I guess they'd rather still chump the Goyf than worry about giving me a zombie. Makes sense. Alright, it's looking pretty good for us, folks. Looking pretty good for us. They just drew a land for turn. They've got the Titan in hand. Thoughtseize there, of course, would have been great, but we will have to settle for a very good turn of swinging in with our whole squad. This puts them to 10. So if they... Is there any reason not to play out this ooze? No, I think we need to just go as wide as possible, so we'll play out the ooze, play out the treetop, and we'll hold up trophy. Then we'll pass. Alright. Show us the Titan. Make sure we get our zombie before any Valakut triggers start picking off potentially Kalitas. I'm really not sure what else they have in hand or what else they can get here. I don't know if there's a good reason to consider holding that trophy for later in the turn. or if we are supposed to just do what I did and respond there, but I don't know what they can really have here. Farseek, okay, they're going to get a couple triggers, but... Kalidas bites the dust. And we just have lethal on board. Okay, well, I'm not going to not going to be too mad about that one, but boy was I lucky to win game one. Boy was I lucky. I didn't play a warm-up game, I guess, before I started here. That's a bit of a weak excuse, I realize that, but I came straight home from work. I've got my family wanting to do stuff, and my wife said, hey, I'm gonna go take the babies here real quick, and then when I get back, you know, let's consider doing some other things like this. And I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to sneak in a quick league match. So I'm gonna blame it on a long work week, the holiday season, no warm-up match, coming straight home from work and hopping on the computer. Those are all my excuses, thin though they may be, as to why I inexplicably did not play my Liliana when I should have game one. I literally just looked at their lands and was like, okay, they've gotten the Titan next turn. I'm gonna wait to play the Lily and edict it away. And of course they didn't have it. Gave them a stronger foothold in the game than they would otherwise have had, and we didn't get punished for it. We still came away with a win game one. That was to a large degree on the strength of our opening hand. Turn 1 Thoughtseize against a Valakut deck that mulled to 5. Yeah, pretty good. And then we found a Bob right away, and Bob did Bob things, and we just kind of buried them. Liliana did eventually come down and help finish the job. Now here in game 2, here I think we earned the win a little bit more. The big gamble that paid off was, of course, the opening hand. We kept a 1-land 7. I don't think it had as many obviously identifying markers as a hand with a lot of big upsides and a lot of big payoffs as perhaps other hands would have. Like, for example, there was no Fulminator Mage. There's no Field of Ruin. Of course, that wouldn't apply to a one-lander, but you understand my point. There were not a lot of the obvious Haymaker cards for this matchup, but just the fact that we had turn 1 Inquisition into turn 2 Tarmogoyf and a trophy and an extraction ready to do some work, that was definitely a hand with kind of some subtle upsides. Like, the turn 2 Tarmogoyf is a underrated upside in a matchup like this, where the clock is simply paramount. Interaction is paramount as well, but the clock. Without the clock, you're just going to die to their top decks. Or, you know, especially if they resolve just a Titan, even their lands become deadly top decks in short order. So, the clock was of huge importance. I totally missed a trick by failing to extract that Baloth on their draw step like I should have. However, they did give us a window in which to extract the Baloths, and I promptly did so. Didn't end up being all that great, just, you know, kind of traded 1 for 1, but that ended up being relevant because it let us just start turning things sideways that we otherwise couldn't have turned sideways, like the Kalidas was able to get in, and then we were able to get in for lethal at the end here. And, you know, the Baloth as a 4/4 walling us off, and of course gaining 4 life, you know, so stopping that was pretty cool. And, you know, the draws just honestly favored us. We dug right out of our lowland start, right on cue, right on curve. We had an untapped land on turn 2. We had a tapped land for turn 3, which is actually totally fine with our sequencing. And then we had a swamp for our 4th untapped land for Kalidas on either turn 4 or turn 5, I don't recall. But either way, our gamble paid off, and our top deck was very kind to us. So this is not an example of great gameplay on my part. I made 2 relatively major misplays. Not playing the Liliana when I should have, and then not extracting the Balos when I should have. I just wasn't very sharp today. So my apologies for that. But fortunately, Magic is a game of variance, and you don't have to play 100% tight every single game to come away with the win, even against bad matchups. And we did do a lot of things right. I think we took the correct things with discard for the most part. I think we sequenced correctly, when it came to prioritizing attackers and things like this, and of course holding up the trophy there. Like, we did enough, right? We did enough to not totally have the win handed to us on a platter. But, anytime you beat Valakut, which is definitely one of our worst matchups, there is going to be some degree of luck involved, and I think we rode the luck wave a little bit more than average this time, so whatever. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to take the win and play better next time. Earn the win a little bit more next time, but hey guys, I'm not mad about it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks as always for watching, for supporting the content. And like I said, game 1, sometimes you truly are better lucky than good. And stay tuned to the channel. I will continue to work my way piecemeal through this league over the coming days, and I will also be continuing to check in on the replays to see if we can get those back up and running. I do have another league, a full league, waiting in the wings to show you, where I dare say I had some really nice plays, better than the ones you saw here at least, and so I hope I can recover that footage for you, and of course we'll continue to do some fun stuff like messing around in the tournament practice lobby. So all that and more still to come. Stay tuned to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the weekend, and I will talk to you soon.